Hello, everyone. Firstly, thank you for attending the BDA Europe Virtual Confex. And thank you too for watching my presentation. My name is Guilherme Norberto. I work as a data engineer at Raizen. I am a polyglot and a multidisciplinary professional. And I am co-founder of the We Love Data community and the Artificial Intelligence Free School as well. And I believe the superpower of doing every day a little bit makes completely the difference. In this presentation, I'm going to have the pleasure to share with you some chapters of my journey into data. I'm going to tell you why I decided to work in tech, how it was becoming a data engineer, how being a multidisciplinary professional helped me to achieve an opportunity in data, and the three key factors needed to succeed. And I hope to help you with insights about how you too can make this career change. So, the path to achieving our goals is never straight. When we have a goal, we need to be firm, adapt ourselves, and keep walking towards it. In 2005, I started my career in, in an advertising agency named Des Digital, where I was responsible mainly for creating digital and print ads. 3 years later, I started working in a mobile marketing agency as a digital designer, and my main activities were creating and editing mobile phone contents. Then, in 2009, I worked in a non governmental organization named Or São Paulo Network. There, beyond working as a digital and graphic designer, I had the opportunity to start working with social media and digital marketing. In the middle of 2013, I was fired from there, but I kept working with advertising as a freelancer. So, in 2014, things changed when I was invited to work as a private French teacher. From this moment, I started to lead my own business and I needed to do more than giving classes. I was responsible for promoting my business, doing sales and accounting, for example. By the way, entrepreneurship is something I recommend you to try. And I don't mean you need to suddenly drop everything. However, if you try at least to sell something for people you don't know, you face challenges you are not used to. And with that, you will learn a lot. Then, in early 2017, I started a coaching process for my French classes project with this woman you see. Her name is Graziella Rosser. As this process advanced, Graziella posed me some challenges to make me think about what I was doing and what I wanted to do. So I always liked communication and technology. So in April 2017, during the coaching process, I decided to connect the points. I realized that I could take advantage of the experiences, knowledge, and skills I had acquired working communication with advertising and languages to achieve my goals and to keep developing myself. But now working in the IT sector that I knew that have a lot of opportunities and have yet a lot of opportunities. But at that moment, I didn't have the right strong points to get a job in tech, especially the hard skills. Thus, I needed to create a strategy to achieve this goal because I couldn't compete, for instance, with a Java developer that had 25 years of experience in programming. And I thought about what new technologies even senior professionals would be learning too. So I searched for it and I found big data, blockchain, IoT, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing. Then I started to pay attention to the opportunities in those fields. Nevertheless, I asked another question to myself: how can I stand out from all the other people who are also looking for an opportunity in IT? And the answer was: the basis for reaching it is knowledge. From that moment, I started searching for courses that could help me improve my hard skills. So I started a bachelor degree in computing engineering in the Univesp, the São Paulo State Virtual University. I started taking an IoT course in Senai. I took some courses related to data science in the University of São Paulo, and another point I noticed was that I needed to grow my network. And for that, I searched events using platforms like Meetup, Simpla, and Eventbrite. I attended a lot of events like this one we are now, for example, and I tried to meet people to exchange ideas. It helped me a lot to discover new things and new technologies, or even people who could indicate me be a referral for a new job. Also, I began to watch videos on YouTube about recruitment for doing better interviews. And also, I began to watching videos about sales because in a selection process, we need to communicate with the recruiter for selling ourselves. Later, in April 2018, I finished the IoT course at Senai. You can see the picture of the people who studied with me in Senai there. And in the same April, I had good news. I passed for the next step of a selection process named Digital Squad that was carried out by Accenture Consulting in partnership with Gamma Academy for training people before hiring them. So the candidates could choose between five specialties: big data, artificial intelligence, data visualization, and web development with React. With that, I decided to drop with this opportunity, I decided to drop the computer engineer degree to focus my energy on it because I thought it was more likely to help me to get a job. And in this process, I had chosen the big data course thinking I would learn data science. But when I arrived for the first class, I was astonished because the teacher began to explain about data engineering and its concepts. He started talking, for example, about Hadoop and its ecosystem. Despite that, I received the surprise as an opportunity to learn something new that was quite requested in the data jobs descriptions I had seen. Meanwhile, I was using LinkedIn to connect with professionals that were already where I wanted to be. I asked them for tips about what to study and also how their jobs were. 1 month later, I finished the big data training of Accenture's selection process, and in its next and last step, I should wait for their answer about whether I was selected or not. So in this picture, you can see the students of the big data course. Some of them worked with me in Accenture. So, but at that moment, until that moment, I have not yet an experience in IT. I have not yet a job in Accenture or either in another IT enterprise. So until that moment, I had sent my CV at least 180 times. I had updated my profile in some job platforms where it was viewed more than 200 times by companies. I had applied for three out of the box selection process. I name the process selection process out of the box because, for example, this one Accenture did. I think it is a process out of the box. It's not the standard process companies uh, generally do. And also at that moment, I got just 5 interviews with no success. So I felt, of course, distressed, discouraged. I was already tired of trying to find a job in technology, and sometimes I asked myself if it was worth the effort. But I didn't give it up. I stood up and I kept walking forward. So then, in June 2018, approximately 1 year and 3 months after I decided to make the career transition into technology, I received a call from Accenture with a job offer to work with data engineer. And of course, I accepted it. So you could see that with perseverance, you can make the career change happen. And I bring you this image because I think it illustrates, sorry, I think it illustrates very well how the changing process works. So, firstly, we are in the comfort zone where we cannot expect different things to happen. But when we start thinking about something new we want to achieve, we begin we begin to look out there. Then we take a step forward and we feel insecure, but we need to keep moving towards our goal. And when we do it, we enter the learning zone where we deal with different problems. It carries us to training new skills and to acquiring more knowledge. When we feel discomfort is when we are really learning and growing. And then the cycle restarts. Finally, I bring it to you the key factors for making a career transition. So, these factors, in my opinion, are firstly, planning. In this journey, you need to know where you want to go, what are your motivations, what are your strong and weak points, and what you will do to arrive there. Second, the second is focus. With so many technologies available on the market, which one do you need to learn? I suggest you focus on the most requested tools by the companies and those which will help you the most at doing your job or the job you want to do. And also, this is a note I want you to remember. It is very important to learn concepts because you can apply them in whatever tool you have. So, for example, if you know, and I am going to give you an example that is not related to technology, but it could help you with technology. If you know color theory, you can do better graphics in Tableau or business intelligence because you know how to mix and combine these colors, and we can communicate better. So and the third and last factor is discipline. You need to have constancy in your actions to obtain true results. For example, it is better to study every day for a few minutes than to study a bunch of hours in just one day and do it never more. Discipline is unbeatable. Thereby, you could see that for making your career change, you will need to keep moving forward and to overcome the challenges that will appear. But with planning, focus, and discipline, you can achieve it. So, that is all. Thank you, and the future is now.